Napoleon Bonaparte was born on August 15, 1769, on the rugged island of Corsica, just a year after the French had acquired it from Genoa. His family, though minor nobility, lived modestly. From an early age, Napoleon was different. He wasn't interested in games or parties. Instead, he immersed himself in books, especially those on history, philosophy, and war. His childhood heroes weren't his teachers or neighbors. They were men like Alexander the Great and Julius Caesar. At age 9, he was sent to mainland France to attend military school. There, he found himself an outsider, awkward, poor, with a heavy Corsican accent. He was mocked and ignored. But instead of reacting with anger, Napoleon turned inward. He studied harder than anyone. He trained his mind like a soldier trains his body. He didn't just want to be the best student. He wanted to be the one who would rewrite history. By 16, he graduated as a second lieutenant in the artillery. For several years, he served without distinction. But then, history gave him a stage, the French Revolution. In 1789, as the monarchy fell and the country spiraled into chaos, new opportunities emerged for those with vision and courage. Napoleon seized them. In 1793, during the siege of Toulon, he made a name for himself by devising a brilliant plan that drove British forces from the city. At just 24 years old, he was promoted to general. He quickly became known not only for his military genius, but also for his ability to inspire. He didn't bark orders from behind. He led from the front, speaking to soldiers in ways that made them feel part of something bigger than themselves. In 1796, at the age of 27, Napoleon was given command of the French army in Italy. It was a defining moment. The army was poorly equipped and demoralized, yet Napoleon transformed them into a fearsome force. Through bold maneuvers and lightning-fast strikes, he defeated the Austrians and forced them into peace negotiations. These victories weren't just about tactics. They were about psychology, timing, and daring. France suddenly had a new hero. He wasn't just a soldier. He was a visionary. In 1798, he launched a campaign in Egypt, aiming to disrupt British trade and expand French influence in the East. Though the mission ultimately failed, he returned to France a legend. Back home, the political system was crumbling. Seizing the moment, Napoleon staged a coup in 1799 and took power as first consul of France. By 1804, he crowned himself emperor, not waiting for the Pope to do it. It was a powerful message. He didn't wait for permission. He claimed what he believed was his. Over the next several years, Napoleon built one of the greatest empires Europe had ever seen. His armies conquered most of the continent, defeating Austria, Prussia, and even parts of Spain and Italy. Victories like Austerlitz, Jena, and Wagram became legends in their own right. Yet, his greatness wasn't only on the battlefield. Napoleon restructured the French government, reformed its tax system, created public banks, improved infrastructure, and expanded access to education. His most enduring legacy, the Napoleonic Code, remains the foundation of legal systems in dozens of countries today. He believed in meritocracy, advancing individuals based on talent, not birth. Under his rule, countless ordinary people rose to positions of power. But ambition has its limits. In 1812, Napoleon launched a massive invasion of Russia with over 600,000 troops. It was a fatal miscalculation. The Russians avoided direct confrontation and employed scorched earth tactics, burning towns and crops as they retreated. When winter came, it was merciless. Hunger, cold, and disease decimated the Grand Army. Fewer than 100,000 returned. It marked the beginning of the end. The rest of Europe sensed weakness. By 1814, coalition forces invaded France. Napoleon was forced to abdicate and was exiled to the island of Elba. But even in defeat, his spirit burned. Less than a year later, in 1815, he escaped from Elba and returned to France. The moment he set foot on land, soldiers sent to arrest him joined him instead. His march to Paris was one of the most dramatic political comebacks in history. For 100 days, he ruled again. But the world had changed. On June 18, 1815, at the Battle of Waterloo, he faced the combined might of Britain and Prussia. After a fierce and bloody battle, Napoleon was finally defeated. This time, exile meant exile. He was sent to the remote island of St. Helena in the South Atlantic, a desolate, wind-swept place far from everything. He spent his final years there, writing, reflecting, and slowly fading away. He died on May 5, 1821, at the age of 51. The cause? Likely stomach cancer, though theories of poisoning still linger. He died not as a general, not as an emperor, but as a man alone. Yet even in his fall, Napoleon's legacy only grew. He reshaped Europe, inspired revolutions, modernized legal systems, and left behind a mythic image of genius and ambition. He wasn't flawless, far from it. He made grave mistakes, pursued endless wars, and sometimes let his ego overtake his judgment. But he was never small, never ordinary. He dreamed bigger than anyone dared. Napoleon's life is a reminder that history isn't only written by kings, nor inherited by blood. Sometimes it's carved out by a boy with a strange accent, a book under his arm, and a fire in his eyes. His story isn't just about war and conquest. It's about what's possible when you stop waiting for the world to choose you and start choosing yourself.